What have I just come back to?
Fox started it.
Don't blame me.
It wasn't me, Shane. I'm innocent.
Uh-huh.
Well, it wasn't me, Shane. I'm innocent.
It was you, Shane.
You're both as bad as each other.
You know what? I resemble that remark.
You resemble?
You resemble.
Yeah.
What do you mean you resemble it, Mark?
He's saying it's true. He's just like,
Yeah.
Oh,
fair.
okay. I was expecting some sort of denial, but no.
No.
Straight into it then.
What are you drinking, Churchy?
I'm drinking a Jack Daniels.
Oh,
Oh, relevant.
always relevant.
Did you know your name's Jack Daniels, like the drink? Oh no, somehow it fucking escaped me.
Oh, hello. Welcome. You're listening to the Hobby Homies podcast. We are your weekly war game and board game podcast. I'm Shane. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Fox.
Hello.
And the man behind the magic, Churchy.
Hello.
This week, I think it's episode 18.
I don't trust you anymore.
Board games.
We are talking board games.
Yeah, make sure you crack a beer or whatever you're drinking, and let's get into it.
Yeah, we don't want to discriminate against people like Churchy who are not drinking beer or people that are of the age.
Yes.
But give it a crack. You know, sneak into your daddy's liquor closet.
Yeah, just take something.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
That's the Hobby Homies way.
That's it.
That's not. For legal reasons, that's the joke.
Yeah. Very, very satire.
So yeah, board games. We do a board games episode once a month, and this is that one for this particular month.
Yeah. So as you probably know, Fox and I froth board games. Due to the current global situation, it's very difficult to play board games with people that you don't live with. So we haven't been able to play many lately, but we've come up with something which we think will help us, scratch the itch and tide us over until that time can come again. Yeah. So I know you've chosen a few Kickstarters that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I thought I would sort of pick the top 3 current Kickstarters to give people an idea of what's currently happening on the Kickstarter scene. And then I thought I would mention or talk about which one of all the Kickstarters that I researched that I'm most excited for personally.
Yeah.
So,
let's take a minute and just briefly run through what a Kickstarter is. Like, how can people find it?
They can find Kickstarters at Kickstarter.com. Although I'm, I guess, not very good at interneting. I find it tough to get to the board games just by going to Kickstarter.com. I think you might have to go there and click. I'm doing this as we talk, but my internet's just decided it's going to not flex its muscles.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, so you get to the Kickstarter. I think you got to click Explore in the top left-hand corner. And then I'm guessing there's games, but where's board games? Anyway, so I usually just Google Kickstarter board games.
Okay.
Oh, tabletop games? Oh, here we are. I might have found it. Yeah, I usually just Google Kickstarter board games, and then there's a link for all the board games. Now, Kickstarters originally were just a place where you could, if you were like an indie designer, you had a phenomenal idea. You had maybe a prototype of the game and all the legal stuff sorted out. All you needed was the money.
Yeah.
You would post all your information and go, hey guys, this is the game. This is how it plays. If you think it's something, buy it now. And if I get, say, $200,000, I'll publish this game.
Okay.
And you'll get it. It used to be, that was the idea of it.
So it's a crowdsource thing, a crowdfunding thing, I should say.
Totally. Yes, it's absolutely a crowdfunding. And it's not just for board games, although board games seem to be one of the bigger, what would you call it? I don't know. One of the bigger things on the website. One of the more reliable things on the website.
Yeah, okay.
There's tons of board games that go through Kickstarter because of the nature of that process. Like, lots of people think up great board games ideas. Lots of people put prototypes together, but they lack the funding to do anything about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if I didn't know any more, I would just think Kickstarter was purely for board games and card games. I wouldn't think that you'd kickstart anything else. Like, you know,
it
just doesn't come to mind.
There's tons of stuff. Like people put up comics. You know, they can write a good comic, but they don't have enough to publish it.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's short films and all kinds of stuff, but
damn,
I've never looked at anything other than board games, to be honest. Except for when I've watched videos on like shitty Kickstarters where it's like, hey, pay for this device to breathe underwater. Stuff like that.
But that sounds like something that I would totally get around.
Well, lucky for you, it's
scams.
Yeah.
What?
That's it. And Kickstarter for a while became synonymous with scams. So you got to be careful. But the board game Kickstarter is sort of like almost a self-contained environment. That it's, you know, you can go on the Reddit and the board games Reddit and suss them out. And However, it's not really used as much for that anymore. Although it is, a lot of companies will, instead of printing and publishing a game like you would traditionally, they don't need to take that risk anymore. They can put up a Kickstarter, and if it doesn't fund, then they're not going to waste their money printing it.
So it's basically like a lifeboat, basically. So but so hang on, if there's some big company that could easily afford to produce this game and have it flop and not lose, why? I just don't understand. You know, I would imagine Kickstarter would be not for them. Like, it would be more for those like indie developers, like we said, that couldn't even scrape together half of what they need to make the game.
Yeah, and it still is, but because it exists, imagine you're a company, right? Let's say you're $1 million company, and you've got the option of just like, you think you've got this great game, you've play tested it a fair bit, you can print 1,000 copies of it now and start selling and just hope it does well.
Yeah.
Or you can print 0 copies, put it on Kickstarter, and have everyone pre-order it and get a rough idea of how many you need to print.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. How well it's going to do in retrospect to your other games. 0 risk involved, apart from the time it takes to make up the Kickstarter. So from a business perspective, it's like, why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's interesting. Some people are in the school of thought that, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. But I mean, it creates better games, I guess.
I think another cool thing about it is that it allows people to try things that might not normally be tried otherwise.
Yeah.
Like novel concepts and stuff that are too risky to do in a mainstream sort of company, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So as a board game designer, you've got this interesting decision now. Do you present your idea to a company, a production company, where they say, oh, we'll make the game and you get 10% of all the profits and they do all the rest of the work? Or you can go to Kickstarter and sort of see if you can do it yourself. You have to source people to make the minis and source graphic designers and all that kind of stuff your own, but you get most of the proceeds. So it's interesting. Yeah. The Kickstarter originally used to used to have lots of great deals. Like, now it's kind of like you're basically pre-ordering the retail version of the game and maybe you get a Kickstarter bonus.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll talk about all that when I talk about my Kickstarter stuff.
Yeah, dude. Let's get stuck into the games that you've picked.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So what I thought I would do is pick the top 3 current Kickstarters. Now, some of the Kickstarters may have ended by the time this episode goes live, but that's not going to matter. And I'll explain that later. So the top 3 current Kickstarter board games are, number 1, this is the big kid on the street. In fact, this is the biggest kid on the street.
Oof.
It's Frosthaven.
Ah, yes. Gloomhaven's frosty brother.
Correct, exactly. And we're all about Frosties here on
Oh,
Hobby
yeah.
Homies. And I just want to address something I noticed when I listened back to one of our podcasts. There are at times what I would like to call tactical awkward silences. That's when I'm talking, for example, and then I have a drink of my beer. So I want you to know I'm drinking.
Yes. Well, when we're in the studio, we don't really have those because we can we're looking at each other and we can time our.
Yeah, you can see me deep throat in a Frosty and you're like, I better keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the case now.
Yeah, you've got like the whole neck of the beer in your mouth. I got to keep talking, dude.
I do no hands. I just let it, I slot it in there, throw my hands up, and I just go for it.
Open the gullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Frosthaven. It's insane, right? Because of the success of Gloomhaven, this game currently has $15.2 million put into it right now.
Jesus
Australian.
Christ.
$15 million.
That's insane.
Those are video game numbers.
Yeah. And
this is for the Kickstarter, right? You've got to imagine this is probably less than half of the people that will actually buy the game.
Yeah.
So it's $150 for the base game on the Kickstarter, which is about 40% off the retail version.
Yeah.
So that's actually a pretty good deal. Not a lot of Kickstarters do that. The benefit of Gloomhaven, the original one, and now Frosthaven is that they never have Kickstarter exclusives, which I personally like. I like the idea that if you buy the retail game, you get the same version as the people that bought the Kickstarter.
Yeah, but I see where you're coming from, but I like the idea of exclusives, but it would be something like maybe, the old school Pokemon cards where they were like shiny.
Of course.
It'd be something like that. Like it would be just a different artwork on a card or something like that. That makes it feel like you've got something for it, but it's not like game breaking where no one else gets to enjoy like a whole new hero or something like that.
Totally. Yeah, I totally get that. I like if there's going to be Kickstarter exclusives, I'd prefer them to be what you just described, just cosmetic or...
Yeah, cosmetic, that's the word.
I hate the idea that people will rock up to a retail store to buy a game that they've heard about and they can't get what effectively is the full game.
Yeah.
Because they didn't back it on Kickstarter. Because they don't trust Kickstarter, they don't know it exists. So anyways, the good thing about Gloomhaven is they don't have that. Instead, you get the game slightly earlier and for 40% off. So that's great.
That is pretty good.
So for those who don't, I assume if you're listening to a board game podcast and you enjoy board games, you probably know what Gloomhaven is because it's considered the board game. But just in case you don't, it's a dungeon crawler game. It's almost like they've been able to capture the most of what an RPG, looks like within a board game.
Yeah.
So it's not full Dungeons and Dragons, but they've captured a lot. You can build your characters, skill them up, pick their abilities. There's a ton of you unlock new characters, you get experience, you go to towns, you buy new items, all that stuff. Yeah. In the original one, there's like not more than 90 different scenarios. Each scenario takes hours. There's road events going to particular dungeons. I mean, we've played a fair bit. We've played a little bit.
We've played a good few sessions.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the great thing about Frosthaven is, all right, so it's a bit of a reskinned Gloomhaven. I mean, it's all new content, but it's the same game.
Yeah.
It's just got 100 new scenarios, which is nuts. The good thing is all the characters from the original Gloomhaven can be used in this one and vice versa.
Oh, I do enjoy when games do that.
That's incredible. It means now instead of having an already, I think there was like 16 characters maybe even more, you've now got almost 40 characters you can choose to play from.
And that's insane. Yeah.
And between the two games, you've got more hours than you can actually play. So don't worry about replayability.
Nah, I suppose that's the biggest thing about board games, isn't it? Replayability. So when you've got something where your replayability is infinite, you're going to get your money's worth out of it. Even if you only value $1 a session, eventually you're going to get your money's worth out of it. So
this game is great for solo as well. Both Gloomhaven and this one, you can set it up, play by yourself. It's challenging if you can set the difficulty. There's a reason it's the #1 board game as voted on Board Game Geek. So Frosthaven has built on all the feedback and all the other things, that came with Gloomhaven. Even little things like all monsters now have their own standees, which Shane, if you think about our games, where a big part was taking the monsters out and clipping them onto their stands.
Yep.
Imagine they're already all clipped and ready to go and they just sit in a box.
Yeah, nice.
Now you just pull out the monster and slap it on the board, as opposed to go, okay, this one is an elite. It goes in the yellow stand. Let me find a yellow stand. All that stuff. Just little things like that Frosthaven's doing.
Nice.
Now, the Kickstarter for Frosthaven ends Saturday. So that's actually probably before this episode airs.
Yeah.
Which is fine because a lot of these in the past, they've had a second wave. So if you're listening to this, you've probably, and this is the first time you're hearing about it, you've probably missed out on the first wave of Frosthaven, which is fine because it's $150 for the base game, but shipping's probably going to be about $30 to $40. You might only end up coming at about 10 to 15% down buying at retail because retail brick and mortar stores get shipping cheaper. So just get hyped for it. Suss out Gloomhaven, see if you like it. It's actually, this game has prevented me from selling my copy of Gloomhaven.
Wow.
Because I was like, it just sort of sits around. I don't play it much, but I'm very excited for Frosthaven and the ability to keep all these characters. And I don't know if you can keep the items or whatever. But yeah, I'll keep this kicking around.
Even having the characters work between two different games sounds worth it to me.
Yeah. And yes. I won't elaborate more on Frosthaven. People can check it out. Yeah. Just because you've missed out on it now, there'll be a second wave of pre-orders on the Kickstarter, I imagine.
Yep.
15.2 million.
That's just crazy.
It just blows my mind.
Doesn't it? I'd love to know what, what comes in second to that. I imagine it's probably 5 million or something would even be considered a lot for a pre-order.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Yeah.
Well, great question. What does come in second to that? All time, it's probably the first Gloomhaven.
Oh, yeah.
But number 2 on this list, let me just find out actually number 2, how much it's currently raised. All right, 2.2 million is the next closest currently.
Wow. So they've blown him out of the water.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And this game itself, the second one I'm going to mention, which is called, I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm afraid it's called Ankh, which is ANKH, Gods of Egypt.
Yep.
This game is, so it's raised 2.2 million. It's made by something I also have never learned how to pronounce, which is it Camon Games? CMON. Which I don't know if that's CMON, CMON. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on. It makes sense.
Games.
I'm just going to call it Come On.
Sure.
I'll try and reference
CMON.
it as, CMON Games.
Come on.
Come on. Get it right, Foxy. Come on.
Come on.
This Kickstarter ends Tuesday, May 5th.
Okay, so there's time.
There's time. 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Again, the base game's $150. With Kickstarter, you can there's different tiers, just like our Patreon. Check us out. I'll be having Patreon.
Shameless plug right there.
So there's, with a lot of games, there's different tiers where they give you additional stuff. So I'm only going to mention the base tier, which is you get the base game, the retail version of the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go through all 4 or 5 tiers that each game has.
Just quickly, a tier would be expansions, would it? Is that how it works, basically?
It's different for every game. That's a great question. So, for example, Gods of War, the base game is 150. You get the base games and all stretch goals. Stretch goals is something to mention as well. Basically, it's something the company does. Jesus, you know how I said 2.2 million? It's actually up to it's ticking in front of me, but it's 3.5 million now. This next game.
Wow.
So that's 1 million since I checked today, 4 hours ago. So yeah, stretch goals are like the company goes, hey, if we get $100,000, we'll add 2 more enemies. If we get $200,000, we'll add co-op mode. You know, so they basically say, well, if we get extra money, we can put extra stuff in.
Yeah.
So a lot of games will go, you get the base game and all applicable stretch goals, which basically means everything that gets unlocked during the campaign.
Yeah, nice.
The good thing about Gods of War is it like Gloomhaven just has the base game. So $150, you get the base game and all stretch goals. There's no Kickstarter exclusives. There's no funny business there. You just get the game. But some might go, and for $200, you get the base game and a cool hat to wear while you play it. You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Actually, better than that. They usually go like a deluxe exclusive pack of enemy cards that only you get for back in the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's like kind of like what I said earlier.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just like, yeah. So, all right. So, what game are we talking about now? Ankh, yeah?
Yeah, Gods of Egypt.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, okay. Because I think you said Gods of War, and I'm like, isn't that a video game?
Sorry, friend. I was thinking Gods of War. I love that game.
I was like, oh, they've interpreted Gods of War into a board game. That's kind of cool.
No. Oh, I mean, this is cool as well. But
well,
yeah,
is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, this game is made by CMON, which are the creators of. I mean, these guys are probably, in my mind, the biggest board game company. Like, they absolutely nail games. Yeah. These are the Gloomhaven of publishers.
Damn.
They've made Arcadia Quest, Zombicide, Rising Sun, Blood Rage, A Song of Ice and Fire, the tabletop game. That's the Game of Thrones one. Rum and Bones, just like tons of their games are littered throughout the top 100, you know?
So I know Zombicide's pretty up there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. All those games I just mentioned are just like all top 100s. So,
yeah.
Again, just as voted, not actual. Yeah, anyways, that's a whole different thing. So these are the big boys, and this is their frontline game. It's 2 to 5 players. It's like a competitive war game. You each play as a Egyptian god and try to build up your following. You recruit followers, build monuments in your honor. You know, you try and be only one god remains is kind of their catchphrase. So I guess, you know, you try and be the Egyptian god that people worship. It's essentially a war game, but it's got some real nice mechanics, and the thematical side of it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because it's CMON or Come On, whatever they are, their models are second to none in the board game world. So I can see people spending $150 just for the models. That's it. There are some insane ones. Go check it out. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to check it out now, I think.
Even the map. The map is something you could use in any RPG. It's very good value. So you could, like I said, you could spend $150 just for the map and the models. But there's also a board game there you can play, and it looks very good. They're never too ambitious or innovative with their mechanics. They like to keep it safe, smart.
Okay, so they're not
mainstream.
Big risk takers.
I don't think so. Having said that, each of the games that I mentioned are not unique, but they do. It's hard to explain. They do feel it when you play it. You're like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool little take on that. You know.
Sweet.
Rising Sun's very cool. I've played that many times. It's like a Japanese game. That's cool.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, I don't.
Okay, so that's what's that? Ankh, Gods of
Egypt. Yeah, Gods of Egypt.
Nice.
So I mean, rough for them, because if you're jumping on Kickstarter and you've got $150 to burn, are you doing Gods of Egypt plus or Frosthaven? You know.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've already made 3 point whatever, I just mentioned before, million.
Oh, they're doing all right.
They're doing real well. And
Yeah.
you could imagine what that was if Frosthaven wasn't out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the game looks great. I would encourage you to check it out. The third one, a little bit smaller, and maybe they've suffered from the same thing. How can you compete with Gods of Egypt and Frosthaven?
Yeah.
It's called Planet Unknown, and it's raised about $250,000.
Okay.
But it's a cheaper game, so it's got this third most backers currently. I'll run through this one real quick. It's certainly the most unique of sort of the top 10 games right now. It's 1 to 6 players, and you're given a random planet and a random player board. I think there's about 49 different combinations of planets/player boards that you can have.
Oh, wow.
So the replayability is apparently insane because, like, what are the odds of you having the same one twice? It boasts 0 downtime. So
no setup?
No. Like, I don't do my turn and then wait 10, 15 minutes for you to have your turn.
Oh, righto. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
So that's cool. It looks like there's a lazy Susan in the middle. That's part of the game. And you basically have a planet that's gridded. And I don't know if you spin the lazy Susan or how that works. But you grab tiles, you all grab a tile off the lazy Susan, and Tetris style, you put it on your planet. So you're basically building things on your planet, ecosystems and whatnot. And I think each tile gives you points if it's it's very unique. That's all I can say. It's called Planet Unknown. I would check it out. It's $75 for the base game.
Yeah.
Again, that ends Saturday, which is yesterday if this is released on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I'd keep it on your radar for when it goes retail, because for $75, this seems like a really good 1 to 6 player game.
Yeah.
That you haven't played before.
That sounds interesting. I'm always on the I've always got my eyes out for games that sound like that, like something that's like, I guess, more friendly to people that aren't hardcore gamers and that can't sit through like a 3-hour session of Gloomhaven.
Yeah. It struck me as kind of photosynthesis-y.
Yeah.
That you hear the game and you go, that's a cool idea.
Yep.
So, and for that cheaper price, I suppose. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, nice. So did you do 3 or did you get more done?
I did 3. I did do more, but I could spend out. I don't want to take too much time.
I know. You can spend the whole podcast talking about just the games that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the top 3 Kickstarters in terms of amount of backers.
Oh, right. Okay.
The one I'm most excited for actually isn't in that list. It's called Excavation Earth, and it's about $80 for the base game. It's got about 130,000 behind it.
Yep.
A lot of people on Reddit were sort of saying, I'm interested. It hasn't really taken off because it seems very cool. But I think a large part of that is we've got limited resources, and there are so many top games. CMON, the big players, just released their flagship game.
Yeah.
Frosthaven's out.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's like releasing a movie when the new Marvel movie comes out.
Oh yeah. No chance.
Yeah. So or a Marvel movie and a Lord of the Rings movie or something. And you're trying to be the third player. It's tough. So anyway, it's called Excavation Earth. This is the one I'm most excited for, even more so than the ones I mentioned, like Frosthaven, which I'm very keen for. Frosthaven, I'll wait for a release, I think.
Yeah.
Excavation Earth, I might back on Kickstarter and wait till.
How has that got to go?
That's a valuable question, Shane, because it says November, but something you need to understand about Kickstarters, people that are listening, it says November, you never know.
Yeah.
You've got no security. If there's setbacks, I'm still waiting for a game because of COVID. I don't know. I backed a game once that said it was going to come out in 6 months, and I got it 2 years later. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
So let me understand this. So if you back a game, does that money go out of your pocket straight away, or does it only come out when the game is released, or like do they?
That's a great question too. So the way it works is you back a game and the money comes out if the campaign gets funded.
Okay.
So most campaigns will say, I need $30,000 to even fund this thing.
Yeah.
And the date that the funding ends and closes, so for most of these games, it's like Saturday. At that date, that's when your money goes out. That's when the company gets it. That's when they use it to print your copy and all that kind of stuff. And then, you might not. So you're out of pocket for anywhere between 6 to 24 months.
Years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So is there any security there? Like if I fund this game and it gets if I back a game and it gets funded and then for some reason the company goes tits up or whatever. Is there anything stopping me from losing my money or?
There used to not be, I think, which is why it got such a bad rep. But I think there is I don't know. The answer is I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good.
I'm
like if you knew, it would mean there was like obviously a problem. The fact that you don't know if that's a thing makes me think that it's pretty safe and pretty secure. Like, I remember this big thing on Steam a few years ago with early access games where developers were just releasing like a tenth of a game, making all this money and then just vanishing. Yeah. You know? Like, so that's, I suppose that's a problem we have nowadays. Like, because you can pay someone for something that you're not going to receive for X amount of time, or it might be in the likes of early access games, it might not be in a state where, you know, you're happy with it for a long time. Yeah. But you're looking ahead where, you know, back in the old days, you sort of you buy what you get, like, you know, you're paying for something and then that's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I wish I could give a more solid answer, but I'm pretty sure I remember there was a system or a program that Kickstarter started doing to try and protect people.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if you give money to a company and they do go tits up and they don't have the money to refund you, you know, they disappear. Yeah. So, you know, that's a benefit of just making sure you read the comments, do a bit of research on the board game company itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bit of diligence involved by you as the purchaser. And that's a big reason people stick away from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, this game, Excavation Earth, 1 to 4 players. You play as, so it's set in the future. Everyone on Earth is dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Heavy.
So you play as sort of like alien merchants, traders, prospectors, and relic hunters.
Yep.
And you discover Earth as a trade federation. And you go to Earth looking for ancient relics of the dead civilization.
Yeah.
You take them back to your planet and sell them.
Nice.
So you're finding things like number plates off cars and like that little Chinese good luck cat with the hand thing.
Oh, yeah. That moves,
Yeah, you find stuff like that as an alien race and you take it back to your planet. But the cool thing that I like about it is you try and build these sets which give you bonus points. So maybe you're trying to find like, I don't know anything about it, but I'm assuming like maybe a set of Chinese relics from that region. It's actually a map of Earth that you do your prospecting on.
Yeah.
There's also market manipulation. So there's like some relics that you get are worth a lot of money, but then if you sell a lot of them quickly, it drops the price of what they're worth. So you sort of flood the market with, say, Chinese relics. Yeah. And then other players that have those relics. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
They are then sort of scrapping to like sell them for a pittance, or they risk holding on to them and hoping the price for them goes back up. Now that you've flooded the market early, maybe the demand increases later on. So there's all these different cool elements to the game that I'm just like, it's got everything I want.
Yeah, it sounds really, really awesome. When's that set to be released?
This is the one that's set, I think, in November, but who knows?
Yeah.
Really. It ends Monday, May 4th at 10 p.m. So
Star Wars Day.
Yeah, exactly. May the 4th be with you at 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. $80 for the base game. The art looks incredible. It's I didn't actually do much research into the developer of the game, but that's the one I'm most excited for.
Nice. I like that. That's got some very, very interesting elements, and I think it's quite funny that for once we're the ancient civilization that's being excavated and collected, and these alien races are finding all these like Xbox 360s and selling them as relics.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's cool.
They come here and find
that is a cool spin.
Yeah, they find a "Make America Great" hat, and they're like, "This, I mean, look at this. What is America? What is great?" Just all these different things.
True.
Like that, yeah. So I would jump. Like the art is awesome. It's not a live episode, so there's no point in me posting it in the Discord right now. But yeah, that's the one I'm most excited for. Definitely.
Nice, dude. Nice. Very nice.
So away from Kickstarter, maybe people don't like Kickstarter for whatever reason. That's fine. Shane, have you got some board games that are out now that people can get their nitty gritty hands on that you're excited for?
Oh, you betcha. You betcha. As long as you can find them, because I know like the boss went to go look for some jigsaw puzzles because she loves doing jigsaw puzzles, and everywhere she goes are just sold out because no one's got anything better to do than put jigsaw puzzles together at home.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
If you're lucky to get your nitty gritty paws on some board games, I was to choose 3. I got slightly distracted and only managed to choose 2.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So these are games that I haven't played, but I am itching to play. So both of them are can be played single player, which is a massive thing I'm seeing nowadays. A lot of single player games.
Oh yeah, more relevant than ever too.
Oh yeah. The games I like are not quite the games that the girlfriend likes, so it would be still good to play some games, even if it's by myself.
Hey man, if you got to play by yourself because your girlfriend won't do it with you, then you got to do what you got to do.
That's it, man. Especially when she's not home.
Yeah, I mean, Sometimes the urge to play board games is just too great.
That's right. I'm only a man.
Sorry to cut you off. I just went on the Kickstarter for that Excavation Earth. It looks like you can play now on Kickstarter. I mean, sorry, Tabletop Simulator. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, and Tabletopia, whatever that is. But carry on with your...
No, we can get around that because we've got Tabletop Simulator, and our Discord channel has its own dedicated Tabletop Simulator channel.
Yeah, it does.
So we have people in there looking for games and playing games in there. So that's very interesting.
I've just linked it in our Tabletop Simulators channel, so people can jump in there, subscribe to it. We can have a bit of a play around with it.
Hell yeah!
You can even get a little idea of the art just from what's on the front when you first click that link. Anyways,
yeah, wow, that actually looks really cool.
I need to click on it.
Yeah. You have to. You must. Yeah. The board game components themselves look sick. There's a rule book online for it already. Yeah. Anyways.
Sweet. That's awesome. Well, yeah, so the number 2 game that I picked, so I'll save my favorite for last.
I was going to say, you didn't even say your number 1 one.
is Terraforming Mars. So at the moment, that's number 3 overall on Board Game Geek.
Yep.
It's made in 2016, so it's been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 to 4 players. Community says 3 players is the sweet spot.
Yes, that seems right. Yeah.
Yeah. Average play time's about 120 minutes, so 2 hours. And Board Game Geek user complexity system. This weighs in at 3.24, which is considered to be medium to heavy. So it's out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
For a frame of reference, Monopoly comes in at a whopping 1.6 complexity.
Okay.
So this is a bit more.
Half as complex as Terraforming Mars. Yeah.
And Uno comes in at 1.1. So yeah, that's just a rough frame reference there.
You want to play Terraforming Mars?
Oh yeah, I want to terraform that red planet.
Yeah,
so hard.
What do you know? What do you know about it? What entices you about it?
Well, I've only sort of watched a few videos on it. I like the whole resource production and resource balancing mechanic to it. Basically, you play as like a corporation, and I've got basically the description here, which is what sort of enticed me into it. So this is what's advertised on the box.
Yep.
So it says, in the 2400s, mankind begins to terraform the planet Mars. Giant corporations sponsored by the world government on Earth initiate huge projects to raise the temperature, the oxygen level, and the ocean coverage until the environment is habitable.
Mm.
In terraforming Mars, you play as one of the corporations and work together in the terraforming process, but compete for getting victory points that are awarded for not only your contribution to the terraforming, but for other commendable things. So it's got that co-op, but there's also some like playing against each other, like small strategy, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've actually played this game
Oh, really?
twice or three times, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. Tell me about it.
Oh, I mean, it's been years actually. I think I played it in 2018 all three times, and it is honestly phenomenal. It's surprisingly simple. It is quite weighty, and to play it well against other people that have played it many times or are a bit more tactical in their approach to games, there's a lot that you can do with it.
Yeah.
But the guy who had played it a lot explained it to us in a matter of, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes. And we just went with it.
Yeah.
And learned things on the fly, and it felt intuitive, and there was many cool different things like, trying to control the temperature and the oxygen, and there's a lot of very cool things. There's limited tiles. So a lot of tiles are worth a lot of points if you build on them.
Yep.
So you try and get those early, but the position of them matter. And it's a sick game. You'd love it,
nice. Dude. Like from what I've seen on it, it just looks so good. And it's one of those games. Every time I go to the game shop, I pick it up and I've got it in my hands, and like, and then I look at like Scythe, and then my other game here that I've picked as number one, which hint isn't Scythe. That would have been number 3. But I just can't like pick between them, So I like the resource management thing. It's got little resource cubes, which are a throwback to some of our other episodes. No big black cubes, just
regular
cubes.
size cubes. Yeah,
yeah,
cubes. I don't know if that's a word.
It is now.
It is now.
And like it's got like research mechanics and all that sort of stuff, which it's pretty interesting. And a game seems like it's got a few elements to it that they're good for beginners. Like you can choose a beginner corporation, which is just, I guess, in like an easy mode, and then you can choose some of the named corporations which have different mechanics behind them.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And it uses like credits as a currency, and it definitely worth having a look at. And this one's in stores, and it's been in stores for 4 years, so it's been out and about. It's got four expansions.
I know of Turmoil. I think we played that one, but I don't know any of the others.
I haven't got the names of them here in front of me, but Board Game Geek has them all listed.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah. That's one, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the other side of the planet, like the darks. So because you terraform one side, it's like the other side of the map, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a sick game.
So that's terraforming Mars. I didn't write the price down, but off the top of my head, I think it's about $100.
I think that's
about
right.
Standard for a sort of a pretty fully complete board game.
Yep.
Yeah, $90 to $100 depending where you buy.
I'm sorry. First of all, 2 things. The first one is you reminded me of when you said resource collection. I just remembered Frosthaven has added the ability to collect resources and build your town.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, which is something that wasn't in the original one.
Yeah.
And the second thing is I'm gonna have to stop you right there because I need to go get another drink. And I don't feel like I want the suspense of your number one to really sink in on my journey to the fridge. So I'll return and I'll let Churchy chime in with his favorite board game he's ever played.
Oh yes,
if he's here.
Oh yeah. Just, I don't know. I haven't played a lot of board games in recent memory.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Like to get the time and the group together. That's the biggest thing. If you're trying to get like 4 or 5 people together on one particular night, it's pretty hard to coordinate.
Yeah, for sure. And I can. It's a few that I've enjoyed in the past. Probably like Zombicide's pretty good.
Yeah, I've never played it.
It's pretty cool. You like have different characters and like you roam around the map, killing zombies and finding items and stuff. And usually there's like a bit of an objective that you're trying to do. But it's sort of like, I don't know. It's just a pretty good, I guess, co-op kind of zombie survival sort of board game form, I guess. Another good one, Talisman.
Oh, yeah, heard of it. Cool. Again, haven't played it.
Yeah, that one's like, I played a fair bit of that quite a few years ago now, but that was pretty cool because you're like each a different hero and you kind of, there's three different rings of the map. So the outer rings you go around the board and keep going around the outside and you can kind of like bump into things and level up or like find monsters every now and then. And you sort of like fight and get stronger and like find items and stuff sometimes, I think. I can't remember too much off the top of my head because it was a long time ago, but it gets really competitive because then you go into the second ring because it's like, I can't remember what's at the center of the map. There's something that you're trying to like climb and get the talisman or something so that you can do something, but whoever does it wins. It comes down to like, so you start with like 5 or 6 players or whatever. And then it gets pretty intense and like people like die off and get killed. And then eventually there's like 2 or 3 people left and then someone might get ahead and then someone else might get lucky and manage to catch up. And then you'll have like 2 or 3 people competing to get to the center. And then I think there's some pretty strong thing that you have to face or fight or get around right near the end. Like on the last couple
like a last boss.
Yeah, pretty much. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's pretty cool because it gets like really, really fired up. And then once you get to the top, I think if someone else gets there as well within like 3 turns or something, then you have to like fight to the death.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It actually, it sounds like a much more serious and hardcore version of Munchkin. How like, you're fighting to level up and then the first person that gets through.
It's a bit different than Munchkin. Like the mechanics and stuff are a bit different. And
I imagine. Yeah.
And
Munchkin's
it's like
pretty simple.
But Munchkin is actually another really fun game. Like I've played a fair bit of Munchkin. Love that game.
Yeah.
What game were you talking about, Jack? That sounded phenomenal.
Talisman.
Talisman.
The one before, yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
I'll post it in like the board games channel.
Yeah, dude.
I'll find just a link.
Yeah.
But Fox is back now, guys. So
I am back.
You're here with the hobby homies.
Although, yeah, thank you. Although I did go on a journey just now I went Talisman, Board Game Geek, and now I'm here. Oh, it's quite a thematical game. Very cool. An adventure board game set in high fantasy medieval world. Is this 14 characters to choose from?
Wow.
Yep.
Anyways. The suspense was...
expansion boards too. I've just found a cool image with like all of the expansion boards, I think. I'll put it in the board game channel.
Yeah, nice. Sweet. That's very... Oh, that game looks cool. Do you have that or you played it with someone else?
My brother's got it.
Okay, so we're gonna steal that from him.
Yeah, we'll hit that up.
We're gonna hit that up. That looks sick. Now, all right, the suspense is killing me, Shane. Hit me with your number one.
Oh, right.
Can we play the fun game if I try and guess it? Does it have a theme? Or will that give it away?
Nah, try and guess.
Okay, well, give me something. Give me something to work with. Give me a theme.
I spoke about it before the episode.
Oh, I don't listen to anything you say.
Yeah, I know. Until I say welcome to Hobby Homies, you don't listen to anything.
I was like, oh, Shane's here. Did you? Because, no, I think before the episode you even said, I don't want to mention what my games are.
Yeah, but I gave the theme away.
What was the theme?
Lovecraftian.
Oh, true. Oh, you mean at the start of the episode?
Right. Yeah.
Is it Call to Cthulhu?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Hit me up. I gotta know.
It's Eldritch Horror.
Oh, you did mention that.
It's got Cthulhu in it.
It does,
So I'll give you points for that.
That's awesome, dude. I have heard so much about the game, but know so little.
Yeah. Well, I will enlighten you, my friend.
Okay.
And our listeners. What the hell was that?
That was me guzzling.
You deep throat that thing again?
No hands. Tasty.
Yep. Okay. Clearly got no gag reflex.
No, never. It's never occurred to me to practice. Eldritch Horror.
Eldritch Horror. So released in 2013, so it's been out for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
Board Game Geek rated it overall 66.
The Devil's Lettuce.
Nearly. Thematic 21. So it's up there. It's definitely in the top 100. So you can't turn your nose up at that. 1 to 8 players. Best suited for 4. The money shot. Now playtime is where it's hefty. 2 to 4 hours they advertise.
Okay, so, you know what? That's not terrible because they might be advertising accurately, whereas a lot of other games are like, hey, it takes you 2 hours to play. And you're like, I've never finished that game in 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. But have such a massive, could be 2 hours, could be 4 hours.
That's right.
Towards the 4.
Yeah. You could sit down at 7 and finish it, 9 o'clock. You might finish it at midnight. Who knows?
Yeah. Sit down at 7 a.m., finish it at 9 p.m., you mean, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like a lot of our games go.
Yeah.
Again, this came in, medium to heavy on the complexity rating, 3.3.
Yep.
It won a whole bunch of awards when it came out.
Yeah, okay.
They do that for board games. I guess it's like the Grammys.
Yeah, the board game Grammys, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that too. So the blurb on the back of this box is Eldritch Horror is a competitive game of terror and adventure in which 1 to 8 players take on the roles of globe-trotting investigators working to solve the mysteries, solve mysteries, gather clues, and protect the world from an ancient one, an elder intent on destroying our world. So it's set in the Lovecraftian universe that was created by H.P. Lovecraft in the 1920s.
Yeah.
There's currently 8 expansions for it, which I think is massive. But that being said, it's been out for 7 years, so it's probably on par. But still, to have so much extra content that you could add to the game, from what I've seen online, the core game is enough. Just to have all the expansions makes it insane.
Yeah. Okay. Do you reckon the price gets quite hefty once you buy all the expansions?
I would imagine so, because I had the game in my cart today, and it was about $90.
Just the base game.
Just the base game, and from what I remember, the expansions were about $60 each, roughly. Right. Yeah. Okay. So you must get a fair bit in them to make them worth that. Considering it's more than half the price of the core game, there's got to be more than half of the content. You know what I mean? So
yeah, totally. Yeah.
I think it'd be something that you could build a collection upon. Apparently, the replayability is pretty good because there's 12 unique investigators, 250 tokens, and over 300 cards between all the decks.
Oof, some content.
Oh yeah. Imagine pack up and setup's probably a pain in the ass though.
Oh yeah, as all the good games.
Yeah.
That's where that extra 2 hours comes from. It's like, hey, if you've got it set up already, it takes 2 hours, but otherwise it's 4 hours.
Yeah, that's right. The base game comes with 4 different ancient ones. So there's Cthulhu, Azathoth, Yog Sothoth, and another one which I can't remember what it's called.
Interesting.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What'd you say, Chechi?
Nyarlathotep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So all these,
all these words were created by probably a drug-induced session by H.P. Lovecraft in the 20s.
Oh, definitely.
Apparently, this language he created was not meant to be pronounced by humans. That's why it all sounds like you're drowning in your own vomit.
Yeah.
It's meant to be all guttural and weird and stuff, I think.
Oh, yeah. The language is Rylechian.
If not humans, Who? Birds?
The ancient ones, dude.
Shrimps? Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
The ancient ones and all the monsters that they summon through portals.
The portal people.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, the idea of the game is it's a map of the world, and you travel between different cities and points of interest, I should say. Per turn, you've got different actions that you take, different kinds of move action, which I think was really interesting. Like a lot of the land travel can be done by rail. Sea travel, you have to buy like tickets, like sea tickets. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting, and you know, you can, it being a cooperative game, if you meet up in the same point of interest as another player, you can trade items with them.
That's interesting.
Oh man, I've watched a few videos on it now, and it just looks fantastic.
So, just did a little quick. You mentioned solo board games before. This apparently is the 21st ranked solo board game on Board Game Geek. There's it's like a little place where they go on. Everyone votes for their solo board games and co-op board games.
Yeah,
it's got a number of years in the top 100, 6. I mean, it's been out for 7, so that's pretty good. It's got a lot of votes for the number 1 solo board game, but it comes in at 21. Okay. So that's, I mean, you know, of all the board games that exist in the entire world,
which is over 100,000 on that website.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that. That's probably a good game for you, man. A solo that's like top 25 solo board games all time.
You son of a bitch. I'm going to buy it now.
I also said you could borrow Wingspan, which apparently is number 17 for solo board games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got Gaia Project, which is number 13.
Yeah.
Viticulture, which we recommended to our Patreon Dave, is number 12. There's some good ones. I mean, obviously Gloomhaven, number 6. Scythe, number 5. Yeah. Terraforming Mars, number 3.
Yep.
Mage Knight, number 2, which I own. And Spirit Island, number 1, which I own.
Oh, damn.
Bro, come over, dude. You can play in my shed. We'll keep social distancing and you can...
True that.
That's cool. But of all those games that I just mentioned, because I've played a fair bit of them, I'm most excited for the one you just mentioned, Eldritch Horror.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm buying it.
Okay, good. That will help with us wanting to play it. And that's just solo, you know, the fact that it's so highly ranked as a game itself.
Yeah, I've never been like, I've always thought like a board game wouldn't quite work solo, but I've played a couple now and it totally does. Like people just think like, oh, you're playing a game by yourself. It's like, it's the same thing as a video game. It's just you're doing all the work. The computer's not doing it for you.
Totally,
There's nothing different. So
it's a challenging. It stretches yourself. Like it's like a Rubik's cube. You know, you don't play that co-op. That'd be weird.
Would it though?
I mean, we could try and duo one, but you know, the challenge is playing against the game and trying to figure out, you know, beating your personal best last time.
Yeah. Especially when your opponent, which is the game, has its own mechanics that you have to follow. Like obviously you have to follow the rules. And so they're designed, a lot of these games are designed with the intent of solo play. So, you know, you follow the mechanics, you follow the rules, and you're going to have a challenging game ahead of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that so many of the games that I have purchased recently are games within the last 10 years. In fact, I don't own anything older than that.
Yeah.
And they're all top solo games. I think that speaks to the fact that it's more of a recent thing, solo board gaming.
Oh, man. But even that being said, in the last 10 years, board gaming has just come leaps and bounds from what it was. You know, we're not playing Monopoly anymore, or we're not playing like tic-tac-toe. We're playing like serious games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
that's very cool.
Like, I think games older than 10 years, there's not a lot that come to mind which jump out at me. Maybe like Battleship. That's probably like the only one that's worth playing.
How dare you? There's actually a really cool Battleship game that we play sometimes when we have too many players for other games in our board game group.
Oh, yeah?
But I sorry, I can't remember what it's called. But it's up to 8 players. which is
Wow.
great. If I had to choose and we had an 8-player game, I'd play Sidereal Confluence, the big black cube game.
Yeah.
But not everyone loves it. They don't love the in-your-face trading part of it.
Oh,
So,
they need to leave the game group, dude.
I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree. But then if they do, then we don't have enough players to play it. So
I'll fill one of the spots.
thanks, bro. I'll get you and Churchill along to the next one.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, that was weird and
Ooh.
sensual. But this someone will listen to this episode and be like, I know what that game's called. But basically, it's Battleship, right? Kinda.
It's Battleship.
And there's 4 players on each team, and you have a role.
It's Battleship.
One is, oh yeah. One is like you've got like a. I'll go into. You know what? I'll save that for the next one. I'll save it for the next one.
Yeah, it might be an idea. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Yeah, totally. The oldest game that I can think of off the top of my head on that note, sort of like something that's maybe more than 10 years old.
Yep.
Actually, there's a fair few. Like if you think of Catan, Settlers of Catan.
Oh yeah, true.
Puerto Rico, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, or Agricola.
No.
But it's funny, those 3 games I mentioned that are older were games that people played for 10, 15 years because that's all there was. Not all there was. They were phenomenal games. But yeah, it's come through so much where instead of getting one insane board game a year, we're getting like 50.
Oh yeah, you
It's
can't
almost
keep up
like
with it.
To make like an analogy, it's almost like with consoles, how there's different generations of consoles. So it's almost like we're in a new generation.
True.
And those older games like Catan and that were like the generation before that like laid the foundation for all these awesome games to happen now.
Yeah, and obviously there's a few classics that you'll always go back to, like Crash Bandicoot. But the new games, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, I was drinking a beer. Did it sound different on your end? Yeah, that's a great analogy, actually. And you know what? A similar thing has happened with board games and video games. You mentioned early access and how video games have suffered from that.
Yeah.
It happens a little bit with board games where they
Are
really...
they doing betas and that, are they? Or are they doing like FAQs or...
No, well, FAQs, yes, but I think that's just, play testing. Thousands of people play the game.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Dominion's over 10 years old as well. So that's something to...
Jesus, I've got that.
Yeah, I know.
When was it released? I'm curious.
2008.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. That's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true. I think is that when Obama was elected?
Yeah, probably.
There you go. That feels like
Kevin Rudd? No, that was Kevin 07. He was kicked out in 08.
What a campaign.
Rudd the stud.
Rudd the stud. He took over from Eyebrows, did he not?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anyways, I forget the point of this podcast.
our international listeners are gonna be like, who the fuck is Eyebrows?
You know what? Even some of our national listeners.
True.
You know what? Literally every single person that's in junior school of the school that I work at was born after 2010 or something. No, after 2008. That's the one.
So they don't even know.
Scary thought.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Well, I'm pretty sure Test Dummy wasn't around when Eyebrows was in.
Oh, I can't do the maths. 2007. Yeah. You were probably born when Kevin Rudd came in. That's insane. Anyways, insane. That's madness.
We're old.
Yeah, that's true. Are we done? Is our lives over?
I think so.
The best part's behind us, friends.
I woke up this morning. It was like my back was just killing me, and
there you go.
Now I got sunburnt like the other day, and my nose is a bit sore, and I got to put cream on it. So I think I'm old, man.
I think sunburn applies to all ages, actually. if I'm honest with you, that's
but I've never had to put cream on before. Normally, it just gets better.
My friend, I've got a friend that always says, "There's a cream for that." Just no matter what happens, I'll be like, "Yo, dude!" Every time I refresh Facebook, it just like bugs out. He's like, "There's a cream for that." So
classic.
That's neither here nor there. Speaking of board games, we're giving one away.
Yes, we are.
We're absolutely giving one away. I mentioned it earlier, photosynthesis. Now, the drama that went into acquiring this board game, I'm not going to go into it.
No.
You know, Shane.
Blood, sweat, and tears were shed in the process.
Oh, my word. What an ordeal. But alas, it's coming. It's on its way. It's going to come here to my house.
Yep.
I'm going to assess it, and then I'm going to ship it.
Are you sure it's going to your house, not going to work?
It's going to work. I meant to say work. I would never trust anyone to drop something off at my house. It'll get stolen. I've got a towel over my head. I'm pretty sure when I take it off, everything in the shed is going to be gone. Someone's nicked. I've got noise-cancelling headphones on. Someone's robbed me. Absolutely. My car has been broken into 5 times. Anyways.
Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
I mean, it might have, in their defense, I should probably lock it.
It's probably the same person. It's like, I bet you this fucker left his car unlocked again.
No, I'm pretty sure there's just a bloke that rolls around at 4 a.m. and just like tests all the car doors. And the same dude's been in it like 5 times. I'm honestly thinking about just leaving him a present, being like,
you should like sleep in the back, and then when he like opens the door, you should like surprise him.
Yeah. The good, the interesting thing is, I've never had anything valuable taken. So at one time I had $1,000 worth of drills and stuff in the back, and he took my broken iPhone 4. So
fuck. Maybe you got spooked.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. If I cared enough, I could just. It's like Big Brother in my street. There's like a camera opposite me.
Well, no shit, dude. If my car got broken into even once, I'd put cameras up.
Well, they're not even mine. Like, we're on the corner, and our 2 neighbors have cameras that point, at their street, but it hits our house. So
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but there you go. So I thought our photosynthesis is a board game we're giving away to everyone that has ever liked our Facebook page.
Well, to one of those people, not to everyone.
No, to every single person.
How many copies
get a photosynthesis, and you get a photosynthesis, and you get a photosynthesis.
If Oprah does it, why can't we? Why can't Hobby Homies?
Maybe if we get $1 million worth of Patreon subscribers, we'll Oprah this shit. But
you guys always are harsh on my buzz.
You only get one.
People listening, just know I wanted everyone to have a copy, but these 2 narcs are like, oh no, only give away one. We can only afford one. It's a global pandemic. Anyways, okay, yeah. So I've got currently all 180. Hang on, let me just quickly check and make sure no one news liked the page. Oh, okay, one person did. Thank you. Now I have to add you. Kieran Rosser. Okay, let me just add you.
God damn it, Kieran.
Kieran! It'd be funny if he won. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we've put all 185 people in this. I've got a click to spin wheel. And I'm going to record this for legal reasons. Like I'm going to record my screen.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay, boom. All right. There's a little countdown. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to click to spin, and this is the winner for photosynthesis. You guys can't hear it, but it's going as it like spins past people.
Okay.
And the winner is James Hamilton.
James Hamilton.
Old Jimmy. Jimmy Ham, I like to call him.
Jimmy Bob Hamilton himself.
The man.
The second.
You may have liked our page and never listened to our podcast, so this is all irrelevant to you. But we'll contact him on Facebook and do all the necessary things and get him a copy of Photosynthesis for him to play in lockdown with whoever.
Maybe alone. Although you can't play it by yourself now.
So there you go. Get a friend. If you don't have one, we're here for you, Jimmy.
Hey,
James,
we can play it on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll send that to him. We give away something every month here at Hobby Homies.
Yeah.
What's next month's thing? Don't know yet.
No, we haven't come that far yet.
No, we like to keep it thematical and relevant and something that most people who listens to the podcast can use. So
Yeah.
we'll think of something spicy.
It'll be on the Facebook. It'll be on the Discord. It'll be everywhere.
Everywhere.
Probably talk about it next episode.
You won't be able to leave your house without knowing about it.
No. We're getting like Skyriders and shit.
Yeah. Yep. We'll get a blimp.
Yeah. Oh, dude, blimps.
Blimps are sick,
Why
man.
aren't they a thing?
They are a thing.
Like, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, there's cruise ships that go in the ocean, right? Why don't let them be like cruise
Where
blimps?
else would a cruise ship go?
A river if it's big enough? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
What about a cruise blimp, right?
Right.
Imagine that. That'd be fucking sick. I would totally get around a cruise blimp. You get on here, and instead of sailing, because who likes sailing?
Sailors,
you sail through the skies, and then you get over there. And
so
I mean, a pool won't work.
Okay.
You can't have a pool on there.
I think everyone's. I mean, the Hindenburg ruined it. Let's be honest.
Don't say that word to me.
Ruined?
Don't you dare say that word to me.
You know,
I'm bringing it back.
Okay, look, dude. Yeah, I just don't know. Even hot air balloons, I'm a little iffy. I'm like, what if it's like parachutes?
True.
What if,
hang on.
Bird with metal wings flies through, and what if a drone? You know?
Yeah, but like people get in helicopters, and helicopters are just like knives that spin around with a bucket.
But you're in the knife.
No, you're in the bucket.
Okay, you're in the bucket protected by knives. Yeah, you're not a bucket protected by a balloon.
I mean, yeah, look, balloon.
What if a helicopter crashes into your blimp? Anyways.
Motherfucker, all right.
So, this has been a Hobby Homies podcast. We are on apparently everything.
We are on everything.
On iTunes,
Spotify.
All those other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Facebook, fb.me/hobbyhomies.
Totally.
We're on YouTube, Discord. Join the Discord. We have live sessions, live episodes once a month.
Say I'm a listener. This is my first time listening.
You're a
How
listener.
Can I get to the Discord?
You can get to the Discord by the Facebook page.
Where is it on the Facebook page? So I go to Hobby Homies.
Yep.
And then what? In fact, let me do it.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
We probably should pin that somewhere, I think.
Let's pin it.
Yeah, let's pin it up to the top.
You know what? Let's throw it in our about. What do you reckon?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. We'll put the Discord link in the about on the Facebook page. That way you can find it without scrolling.
And if you ever can't find it, our email is on the Facebook page, hobbyhomies@gmail.com. Email us, message us on Facebook, be like, hey, can I get in on this Discord?
Yeah.
And we'll be like, no, of course. Please jump on in.
Yeah. But yeah, we're also on Patreon. So we have patrons on there that like to give us, they buy us a beer once a month.
Yeah.
And that goes towards us producing new content and continuing these episodes. Nothing we produce will be hidden behind a paywall. They may get, exclusive benefits like a miniature painted for our OG homies. So we paint you a miniature and send it to you.
Yeah. That's
all
actually
on us.
My favorite thing that we do.
Oh, yeah.
Only because, if you sign up and be like an OG Patreon, it takes a few months for you before hang on, my brain just melted. But it costs us a lot to buy this mini. It costs us a lot to our time and effort to paint it and stuff, which we don't care about because we actually froth it.
Oh, yeah.
But you actually get something valuable for your monies, as well as, supporting us, which is, we're so humbled by.
Oh, of course. Even our $1 Patreons, we can't thank them enough because it just helps us continue to do this. And yeah.
So our Patreon, our OGs, which we like to shout out at every episode and just make sure we know. I mean, I hope that all Patreons know, like you said, that even people that give us $1 a month, it adds up. It all helps. It's, we never thought we would make cash monies. Not make cash monies. We're hemorrhaging money. But, you buy us a few beers and it's incredible. But for our OGs who have gone above and beyond, we just want to thank you guys. You allow us to do things like the video content we're starting, the live podcast that we're going to do once a month.
Yep.
I want to start with you, Churchy, because you're here. Thank you.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You're one of our OG homies, and you also do so much more than just support us with your OG homie payments, but you also do everything else, literally everything else.
Yeah, we just talk shit and Churchy makes it sound bearable.
And that's a feat. That is a feat.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it takes him days even.
Yeah, longer.
Yeah.
We've got years. This was actually made in 2008. Barack has just been nominated for Prime Minister of... yeah, I think he could do it. Who's he against?
Is Rudd still in office?
I couldn't tell you.
No, Gillard's in now. Rudd left last week. Yeah.
Just going to ruin the NBN.
Oh, no.
I have such a hard time remembering this current year of 2008.
Yeah, it's been madness. It's absolutely been madness. 2008. I'm in year 12.
I'm in year... I think I dropped out.
I'm in year 11, I think.
Wow. Dave, we want to thank Dave, the person that's he's one of our OG patrons, but also the organizer of the Warhammer 40k League in Geelong.
Hells yeah.
So he's an absolute lad. I want to thank Foggy from Geelong as well. Another OG homie.
Yep.
He actually provided me with my beers tonight, which is amazing. Like that's directly sick. Actually gave me beers.
Yeah. We
work together. I see him often. You're an absolute top lad, Foggy. And our OG, the man himself, Final Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Through Final Dinosaur, all things are possible.
That's it.
He was our very first international listener as well from Belgium. And
True.
He's just a top bloke. We appreciate you, Final Dinosaur.
You know, I want to quickly say something regarding international listeners. By the way, Final Dinosaur, I'm so sorry that you're the last of your kind.
Must that's sad.
Incredibly lonely.
But you're still here.
But you're still here. And look, we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
We're still here for you. But we have someone listening from Clichy, Ile de France, who's listened to every single one of our episodes. So
incredible.
To that guy, cheers, man.
Yeah, bro. As the French say, thank you. When they speak English. Thanks, homie. You're a legend. That's
champion.
And, you know, our Patreons support us financially. That's incredible. But our listeners, you guys support us in the most important way. And that's by making us not feel like we've wasted the last hour and a half talking. You know?
Yeah. Even though
you're all our hobby homies.
We'd probably still do it if we didn't have anyone listening because it's still fun. But
absolutely, I'd do this for one listener.
Oh yeah. Knowing that there's people that are enjoying this content and getting around the Discord and the Facebook page is awesome.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Something I'm excited for is what we talked about last week, and it's not technically a board game, but it's Test of Honor.
Oh yeah.
Today I went Test of Honor mad, as I have every day for the last week.
Yep.
I don't want to talk too much about it because we'll have another. It's part of our journey into Test of Honor series. We'll talk about it
when we do our next episode. Listen, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, have a listen. You know, learn with us what Test of Honor is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I downloaded. You can buy it. Graham Davey, the designer of the game, released a digital rulebook just a few days ago, and I was looking through that, and the rules were so much deeper than I originally thought. And there's actually a slow grow campaign in the rulebook.
Nice.
Where you can start with, a handful of models, and then you play with your friends, and then the next time you add more models, and we'll talk about all that on our next one. But if you don't know what Test of Honor is, listen to our last one, which Shane said was episode 18, but it was actually 17. Although technically, you were correct because we have an episode 0.
Yeah, that's what I was counting.
Yeah, there you go. So you were both right and wrong.
That's fine.
In the same sentence. Well done.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Next week's episode, What are you thinking?
Oh man, this one has got me very, very erect. I am looking forward to the next episode so hard. I wish it was next week already.
Next episode is how should we explain? It's just going to be there's been a lot of rumors about 9th edition 40K.
Oh yeah.
There's been a lot of things come out for Psychic Awakening for 40K. If you don't know what that is, fear not. Listen to next week's episode. We'll talk about that. Yeah. But I went down a rabbit hole exploring some of the rumors and some of the interesting things about 9th edition. And I'm excited for next episode.
Yeah, big.
There's actually tons of news and stuff that's happening. There's a website we use to order a lot of our 40K stuff called Mighty Ape. It just started doing orders again.
Oh, don't even.
You sent me a message today and you were like, oh, dude, Mighty Ape started. It's like you were disappointed because you knew how much money we're going to spend again. It's been nice saving money because we can't actually buy 40K stuff right now.
Yeah.
But bloody Mighty Ape had to go and open again. And
I know.
GW's, I think, opening
it's
their
like,
stuff.
Dude, it's like they want my girlfriend to leave me.
Yeah, they must. They absolutely must. The incomparable ape.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's next episode. Tune in to hear about all the stuff surrounding everything 40K, news, rumors.
Yep.
All those other, there's a word I'm looking for, but it's escaped me. So,
yep, we'll leave it at that.
Spiciness.
Yeah. All right. So until then, paint some models, play some games, and we'll chat to you next time.
Hobby hard, friends. We're out.
Peace.
We have left us. And congratulations, James Hamilton.